Hi everybody, thanks for tuning into another video on TK's Tech Corner. Today we're going to be taking a look at this XbotGo Chameleon, which is an AI powered sports gimbal. This is the newer version of the company's previous product, which was this one here that I did a review on some time back. This here was the XbotGo AI Cameraman, they called it, and ultimately you'd put your smartphone in there and you'd use the capabilities of your smartphone coupled with their application to effectively get an AI powered experience of recording sporting events. This one here extends on that experience in that the gimbal now has actually got a camera built into it. So we're going to open it up, and I'm going to try and open it while I'm talking. The idea here is, and we'll talk through the differences, but the idea here is that there's no more reliance on the phone to do all the, the AI processing and detection of the sporting activities and events that are taking place. You're depending on the gimbal, and therefore they can ultimately support the device through updates, etc., rather than trying to support the devices through the app update and relying on your phone to do all the processing. So look at that, that's monstrous. I've just noticed how gorgeous and big that is. The idea here is that all the logic is integrated into this here. We'll go through the specification of the product, and we'll look at some of the videos that they have provided that are a result of recording sporting events of this fantastic gimbal here. So we'll compare it to the original one. We'll talk about all the differences. Really, very nice to see that in the new one you get the remote control included with it, where the old one, the remote control was available as a bundle or as a separate accessory. But in this bundle that we've got here, we have got the remote included. We've got a USB-C to C charging cable that's also included as well, so that's there. We've got the gimbal itself, so I'm just going to turn it upside down to get this out. Now this is lovely. We'll work our way through that device very shortly. Lovely weight to it as well, significantly different from the old one that you saw I just brought up on the screen. Some paperwork, and I think that's it in terms of there's nothing else in the box that I can see, so I'm just going to get this out of the way quickly. Right, so significantly different product, as I said, from the previous one, right? We're going to talk through the specs, so I'm just going to get the old one back. Just before we test it out, let's just go through the difference in terms of specifications. So this one here was rated at an 85% tracking accuracy versus the new one now, which has got its own built-in ultra wide angle camera, is tracking at about 95% accuracy. From a resolution perspective, even if you had a camera phone with capabilities of recording at 4K video, through the app you would only be able to record at maximum of 1080p. The reason why they restricted that was because, given that it was relying on the phone to do all the AI processing and tracking, etc., solely itself, it would generate a lot of heat because your phone's processor is doing some overtime, and therefore recording in 4K would add additional burden to both the processor and also overall battery life, heat, etc. So therefore they restricted the previous recording to 1080p. You can now actually go up to 4K recording, which is a massive bonus for a lot of people that are trying to capture professional sporting events. 60 frames per second. Up to 60 frames per second, depending on the resolution. Probably this was fixed at 30 frames per second up to 1080p. Again, now because you're relying, it's definitely probably got more hefty battery in it as well, but this one can record for a total of 8 hours. Well, the working duration in total would be up to 8 hours. That does obviously depend on the battery life of your phone as well. But this solely can go for 8 hours on its own, and then compared to this one, which would operate for 4 hours maximum. So again, massive boost there. Now the cell phone recording duration 5 to 6 hours and 3 hours. Now again, I guess it does come down to the battery life of your phone, but the main point here is that because we're offloading the processing to this device here, we're no longer processing on the phone, therefore increasing the battery life. This one here is available in 3 different colors. The color here is lava graphite. It's a really nice gray color with a really soft touch body there, and then you can see high quality finishes on both sides as well. The camera lens here, so there was no camera on the old one at all. It relied on the phone camera solely. Now you're getting a dual camera recording experience effectively, and AI sports tracking experience. This one here is a 120 degree wide angle lens, so that is incredible. It's going to be tracking all sorts of angles there. You've got the weight of this one. Okay, so this is about 540 grams is what it's clocking in at, versus this one. This was 362 grams. Now, again, as I mentioned, this has got an AI co-processor built in now, so you're not just relying on the phone. This has all of that technology built into it, where this one was, I'm just going to call it dumb, because it relied on the phone to do everything, paired to the phone, and the phone did all of the logic. 4 hours charging time in total, so make sure you charge it up before you go out the next day for recording. This is not something that is a handheld device. This is designed to be mounted onto your tripod, so be it your favorite camera tripod, or you can also pick up a fantastic tripod bundle from XbotGo team as well. And maybe if they offer to send me one, I'll be able to get some of their tripods on the channel and show you just how good quality they are and how well they couple with their gimbals as well. This here has one advantage, or I guess kind of two. One is you could use it in handheld mode, and B is it's got a 3-axis structure where this one hasn't. It's pretty much more 2 axes. It's going to go maybe even one. This one's going to move in every direction you can possibly imagine, and it's just because of the nature of the design of this, right? So that is a good overall comparison, I suppose, for the hardware of these products. Now what we'll do is we'll get this one out of the way, and we'll focus solely on this. Now, one of the things that's worth noting here, and as a massive advantage I would say for people with foldable devices like myself, is the old one would not be able to really get into the old gimbal. This one couldn't get into the old one at all. It was designed more for the standard traditional smartphones like this. Where with the new one now, because of this new mounting system that isn't relying on that spring-loaded type lock, they've got this clamp here, and because it's completely open, it's only clamping in from the bottom, we should be able to get the fold in there no problem whatsoever. Now, the bottom part of the clamp is going to be squeezing in on the display a little bit, so I would probably say be careful when we're screwing it in, but ultimately now you're no longer restricted to just that single style of phone. We most certainly can now clamp our foldables in there, and as you can see that there, it is going in absolutely fine. So you'll be able to record using your foldable devices as well. You may want to get a nice case on this. If you've got a nice case on this, you're going to protect the screen from getting squashed from that clamp as well. But there we go. So that is a massive bonus. Now the way this thing works is we install the XbotGo app, which I have got installed. So we'll power them on, we'll pair it up and just see what that looks like as well. So I'm going to power it on by holding the power button, and that's exactly the same. You can see the lights at the bottom indicating the battery life, which is nice to see. The camera's doing a little bit of calibration while it's turning on. And we've got the light up XbotGo logos on the side as well, so you can see them pulsing on and off slowly as well while the device initializes. I think it's now gone off, so we're probably going to have to read the instructions on how to get it into a pairing mode. I'm going to hold the power button to see if anything starts blinking, because if it does, I know I've got it into a pairing mode. Now I've just got to turn it off again. Right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to quickly have a look at the instructions. So there we have it. The way this is going to work for pairing is we hold the power button for 3 seconds, as I did say earlier on, and then the XbotGo light is going to start flashing a little bit. You can see that pulsing now, and then on the phone it's going to find the device. It's going to start pairing. I'm going to enter a pairing code if it comes up. If it asks for a pairing code, that is. And this should really pair to the device. So I think it's gone off. And I've just noticed it says an app is needed to pair to this device. So what I've really got to do is I've actually got to pair to it from here. So let's go through that again. I'm just going to go to manage, nope, device. And I need to add a new device from here somewhere. Now this is probably not working in the open mode. So I'm just going to close the phone for a second. That may or may not be a problem, but let's have a look. I may actually just switch to this phone because it'll probably be easier to get in now there. So that's the device mode there. I will open it up and test it again in a minute. I'm going to go to add device. Yes, you can use my location if you want. And now I'm going to turn this thing on. We got it in a pairing mode and hopefully the device is going to be found, which it has. I'm going to click to connect. It's the same as the old one. You couldn't connect to it from outside of the app, and now it's connected. So we've got the device. We've also got the remote, which we need to consider pairing. So to pair the remote, I'm guessing it's going to be exactly the same. I'm holding the power button. I'm assuming there's a battery in there, by the way. There may not be. Let's just quickly open it up and have a look. If there's no battery, it's not a problem. In fact, I'll just leave that aside for now. We'll get that up and running in a minute. It's not important to get that up and running right this second. It's also finding my other device, which I'm not really interested in at the moment. Right, it does keep going off, so I'm just going to quickly check something. It's working absolutely fine. The only problem with it was the battery wasn't charged, so I've got it on charge at the moment. As you can see, I've got the phone sitting in there folded open, absolutely nice. And I've just had a quick play around with it while it was on charge and testing the tracking me features, and I can see it's moving around to track me using the forward facing camera, and more importantly using the AI camera that's actually built into the gimbal itself. So it's able to do a good level of tracking, and it was able to just follow me around, which is quite hard to show on the camera here really, but yes, it was tracking me absolutely fine. The other thing to probably note about this fantastic device here is, other than, I mentioned the 3 colors it's available in, but we've got the fact that if you're using an Apple device and you've got an Apple Watch, there is a companion app for the Apple Watches as well, so you can actually see a live view of what the footage that you're capturing from your watch, and also some basic remote controlled features from that as well. This has 20 plus sports activities built into it, so I'll just show you them now quickly as well. So if I quickly exit from here and go to home, what you'll see is, so you can see the device is paired now and it's not disconnecting. That's just because the battery was dying. But if I go to record, these are the initial activities that come up, but there are 20 plus modes that are listed on the website that this is going to support. So in here we've got stuff like, you can see there, it's a bit dusty, isn't it? Soccer, basketball, football, ice hockey, tennis. We've got broom, not sure what broom is that what they're calling paddle these days? Handball. We've got all sorts of stuff there, right? So lacrosse is there as well, and this, because it's just limited by the application, will continuously be updated as well. And then you can select for follow me mode. You can even now track a jersey number, so a specific player with a jersey on, you could track the jersey number as well, which is really, really good. And then you can even add or select a jersey. So once that's captured, it will know exactly what it's looking for, and be able to track exactly that during your session, which is a really, really nice feature. So just a quick look at the remote here then. The remote has got a CR2032 battery in there. They've quite rightly got a tab in there to protect this in and stop it from draining in transport mode. So I've just popped the cover off there. I can see the battery's in. I'll put it back in now, and I'll close up the cover again, and and then it's quite, yeah, right, okay. And then we'll turn it on, we'll pair this and just see if it moves the device around as well. And then we'll check out some footage that they've kindly sent us to see what the results are of using a fantastic device like this to capture some sports scenery. So you can see the remote control has been detected there. I say you can see it, but you probably can't. So there's a remote control. I'm going to click to connect, and it's now gone blue, so that means it's paired. That should now be paired, and we should be able to control the device with this as well. So I'm going to go into some sort of a scene capture mode, I suppose. I'll have to before I can do anything with it, and we'll figure out what we can do with this as well. So that's going to be mode selection, I suspect. Right, so let's go into record. Let's go into follow me mode, and I'll slip my phone back in there as well. And then I'll just hit start recording. I'll skip through, dismiss this notification. And the remote control is allowing me to stop and start the recording using that main button there. And if I cycle through, I'll probably also be able to control the gimbal, which I can do there, as you can see. So it's moving around fine as well. And it's got limited movement going this way as well. And I'm just going to take the phone off to see how far up it will actually go. So that's, you can see the movement there of the device. So it's quite handy if you got the phone in the gimbal to have this on. Now this, I'm going to take the battery off charge for a little while because it has been charging, so hopefully it's not going to die straight away, just to see how far this goes around. I think this is full 360 rotation, so have a look at that. Now if you can get yourself recording on another, or what you could probably do is leave your phone out, stick another phone in there with a normal camera mode, right, and have it do a nice panoramic shot like that, so you can get it really, really steady. So this is quite flexible in that you don't really need to use the original, or the phone that you're using in there now. You really could keep that phone on the side and use something else altogether. Recording has not started yet. It looks like there's some sort of a timed recording mode there as well. And this also has a live stream mode. That's a photo mode to take a picture. Nice size remote with a good key set of features that you need on there. Nothing more. It's not overcomplicated. They've kept it simple, but it is functional. So let's go and have a look at some of their footage.
So what we can see here is the lemon green colored XbotGo in the demonstration video, and we can see here it's got no problem at all tracking multiple players in a basketball game. It seems to be doing a really, really good and capable job. The movement of the actual gimbal on the tripod is very, very smooth and steady. Not noticing any jerking movements at all. In fact, it's a lot smoother than the previous generation, which might have had the slightest of jerks when it was reaching its point where it's going to turn into the other direction. But this one definitely looks to be doing so a lot more gracefully overall.
So I hope you enjoyed the footage there, captured by the XbotGo team on a basketball match. They've kindly provided that footage, and we've seen the capabilities of the gimbal being able to track in detail the actual sport and the players, many players on the pitch, but it's not getting confused. It's doing a really, really good job of tracking the main events during that basketball match. So really, really good product here overall. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you want to ask any questions about this fantastic product, please ask them in the comment section below. I'll be trying to answer all the questions I possibly can get to. There is going to be a link to this product in the description below as well, so feel free to hit up the link if you're interested in learning more about the product or if you want to buy one. And if you haven't already done so, please hit that subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner. Really appreciate all the support I get on the channel. I'll see you on the next one.